Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. Tonight we're going to take a look at Straw Harvest, which is a pretty cool free mod that has come out this week from Creative Mesh. They are one of the big DLC slash mod makers for Farm Sim or for Giants. And the fact that this pack is free is really nice. It's not a new pack. This came out back with Farm Sim 17 and it's been ported to each new version. They're a little late to the game since Farm Sim 22 has been out for over 2 years. I'm kind of surprised that it took them this long to get it in, but they have added it in, and this will give you some additional gameplay that we didn't have before. Now, in this video, I'm going to first go through all the different pieces of equipment and additional items that come with the pack. We're going to kind of look at them, describe them, show you what they do, and then there's going to be a tutorial towards the, I don't say end of the video, but the second half of the video is going to be a tutorial where we put some of this stuff to use so you guys can see how it works, kind of figure out what process you want to do to make these, the straw harvest work for you. And so I will put a link in the description that takes you directly to the tutorial portion of the video. But there will be lots of information throughout the video, so I hope that you stay for the whole thing. I tend to be long-winded, and I take my time going through everything that I possibly can think of. I apologize if that's too slow for you. There's lots of other channels out there, but I like to do things my way, and so I like to take my time and be thorough. And so here we go. Be ready. Get your popcorn, get a cup of coffee, sit back and relax. Okay, so to start with, we have some bale handling tools. None of them are necessarily groundbreaking, but there are a couple that work just with this DLC. The first one is not anything new in this version of the game. This is a upright bale handler, hooks onto a telehandler. You can also get it in a front loader version for your tractor. We already have one of these from Abut or however you pronounce it, but there's another one in the game already. Basically, when you have several bales stacked up high, or even the small Heston bales, and you use, let's see where, I think it's under bale loaders. If you use this accumulator with your Heston baler and you get that really tall stack of bales, you can use this to pick them up, though it's probably easier to do just if you have like 3 or 4 bales stacked tall. So this guy, I'll show you another bale loader. That's not what I wanted. Sorry. This guy stacks 3 bales up. So if you have 3 square bales and this stacks them, and they do all sizes of the square bales, then you come back out with this and pick them up. But we already had one of these in game. Moving right along. This and this are specifically for this accumulator. Now, what's an accumulator? It's basically a device that accumulates bales together into groups. Farmers have homemade ones. This one happens to be specifically for this baler. This takes 3 bales, it puts one off to the left, one to the right, one goes up the center, and then it drops all 3 of them on the ground. You then go behind it with this or this and pick them up and set them onto a trailer. This one can hold up to 6. That's why it requires a front loader. So this guy can be used with a telehandler or a tractor with a arm, with front loader arms. This one has to have a wheel loader because it picks up heavier. 6 bales are pretty heavy, but you can pick up a lot more bales with this. So we're going to put both of these to use just a little bit so you guys can see it. Next up, we have kind of a new feature for the balers, though I know there's some mods out there that do this too. These are balers that have to be loaded. So you have to buy the nets, and then you can open up the front of the baler. You pull up next to the net thing, and you press a button on your joystick, and it'll load the nets into the baler so that the baler will function. Once it runs out of nets, you have to come back and reload it. Now, if you don't want to do that, but you still want to use the baler, and we're going to go into the shop, they also offer an option on these balers. So here's this guy. And you can refill supplies manually, which is what we were doing, or you can pick to have it automatically be loaded. I usually just do this because I don't want to deal with having to use the pallets and move stuff around. I just want to go out and bale. But it does add a gameplay, realistic, feature to these balers. If you want to play more realistically, you actually do have to load this crap onto the balers. Now, On our this is the round baler. This does all 3 sizes of round bales. Then we have the premium, really expensive giant Krone square baler. I honestly would suggest just using a different baler unless you want to use the accumulator, because this thing is double the price of any other baler in the game. I don't know why you would want to buy this at $300,000. No. I can buy the other Krone baler that's in game for $155. So the prices are insane. They might be really how they are in real life. They might reflect the real life pricing. I don't know why you'd want this baler over, and once again, let's take a look at the balers. If I go in here and I look at this one's $319 for a 1290 HDP2 XC. Or we have the 1290 HDP VC, which is essentially the same thing. Yeah, for half the price. Why would you do this? But somebody might want to do it. So, or if you want to use the accumulator, which we will, like I said, we'll put this into use during the tutorial. You guys will get to see this working. Now on these, you have these bale twine. Okay, so the twine holds the bale together. And what you do is you pull up next to it, you press the button, and the sides of this baler will open. And there's a ton of space in there for a bunch of rolls. I think you probably put about half of these inside there. And then drive off. And as the baler uses up the rolls, it'll just use them. And then when it's empty, you come back and fill it up again. Or, just like the round baler, you can choose an option to have it automatically refill, and you don't have to buy this. So it's up to you which one you want to do. But I have 2 here, and if you look at the back, they're a little different. This one's designed to just drop 1 bale at a time on the ground. The other attachment is the same thing, but it doesn't have these cowlings on it. And it also is missing this tailgate, and basically this part hooks to this. And then you have that on the back. And we'll run that, so you'll get to see it. Next up, we have what I think this is probably the star of the show. This is a pellet maker. So you can go out in your field. You can take hay and or straw and just pick it directly up off the field. It picks the hay and straw up. It scrunches it up and squeezes it into pellets, which then come up here and get dumped into this hopper. Once the hopper's full, you offload it into a trailer, and you can take it to market and sell. You get a lot more money for the pellets than you do for just straight up hay or straw. And it works once again for hay and for straw. Not for grass, though, but it has to be either hay or straw. So you have to have tedded it if you're going to do grass. So you mow, ted, windrow, and then go do this. However, you can also use what they've given us to take it a step further. Now, this, back when it was in 17, it was groundbreaking because it added a production to the game that we didn't have before. And we'll get into that in a second, but we'll go look at that in a second. But these are the pellet makers. There's other things you can do with these, and I'll show you. Here we have molasses. Molasses is what they use to keep the pellets stuck together. So it grinds it up and then squeezes it together into these little pellets. And you have to have molasses to do that. Once again, you can have the version where you have to load that in manually, or the version where it just does it by itself. I picked the one that, once again, that you do by yourself, so you don't have to, or you don't have to do by yourself, so you don't have to worry about it. It just automatically does it for me. I don't have to put molasses in it. But you can buy it so that you add molasses too. Last but not least, in the equipment section, we have this little funky device. What this does is this unfolds and connects to the side of our Primos. And we can set bales on it, and it'll suck them in and grind them up and turn them into pellets. So you don't have to actually take this out onto the field and use it to pick the pellets up directly. You can bale everything and then bring it back and do it here. I don't know why you'd go through the effort of doing that, because it's way easier to do it just by picking directly up at the field. But there is one third option for this, and that is if you put this machine and this into the next place that we're going to go look, you'll see. This, I don't want to get too confusing here. This is going to get a little crazy, but I'll be right back. I want to show you something. This is what I was talking about. And this is a cool thing, but it's expensive. What we have here is a palletizer haul for our pellets. And we can take that Primos device that I was showing you and put it right here with the unloader going up this way into this hopper. And then that device that I was talking about where you put bales on it, you can put that right here. And then you can bring bales to this facility, drop it here, it goes into the Primos, and then gets, chopped up into pellets and put here, and then it goes up and drops in here where it gets bagged into these bags, these pellet bags, and it gets palletized, wrapped, there's the pallets right there, and then released out here, and then you come with a forklift and pick these up and load them onto a truck and go sell them. Now, there's also a small sell point that this comes with, which I have placed down at the end of the field. Right, you can see it from here, those little flags way down there. We're not going to do that right this second, but that's where you sell it at. You can put that anywhere on the map that you want, but that's your sell point. Now, this also has an operating crane that you can use that scoops pellets. You can see somewhere here, there's the pellet scoop. If you bring pellets in off the field, like let's say you're using the Primos out in the field, and you put it in a trailer, and then you bring the trailer in here and dump hay and or straw and or whatever the third thing is you want to dump, but it's either hay or straw. You can dump those in there, and then you use this to scoop them up and take them over here and dump them off here and then start making pallets. Honestly, this to me has always been kind of hokey on the way it operates. It's way easier just to use a small front loader and scoop it out and dump it here. So I like that best, but I'm going to show you the different ways to operate this as we go through the tutorial. I will show you all the different things working so we can see what works best. But I just wanted to share this. This is the haul. They also have a couple of versions of the haul that aren't including the production side of it. So here we have the haul. It's $175. Now this is nice because it used to be $500, so they've dropped the price to $175, much more affordable. You also have this $42,000 pellet heater plant. So once you've made your pellets out of, it looks like wood chips and or straw pellets, you can sell the straw pellets here, and you just make money because it'll burn them off and make money doing that. So that's a cool thing that they've added. You can also go to buildings and go to your sheds, and here you have 3 different versions of the same haul. One it's just empty. One has the pellets, and it's also got the crane. And then the third one is for storing bales and pallets. And I don't... Once again, at the price, it's a nice haul. It really is a nice haul. I just, I don't know. I would really only use this if I'm doing this process, but I don't know. I guess you could use it for other stuff. It's a nice haul. Anyway, so that is the production facility for making the pallets, and that really is the new feature that comes with this DLC, and it's neat, and you can make a lot of money. Let's take a look at the market. So here we have hay pellets and straw pellets. You make more money per hay pellets than straw pellets. There's a $200 swing, which is pretty significant considering it's going from $400 to $600 and then $600 to $800 for the 2 different types. That's about a 30 or 40% loss if you try to sell it in the summer. The best time to sell, of course, with either of these is winter, because that's when you're going to burn these. Now, other uses in real life, we have become quite a pelletized society. A lot of people are using pellet grills. Now, those are usually wood chips, but they're the same idea. Pellet fireplaces, you can do the straw pellets for that. People use straw pellets for their horses, putting it down as bedding. And people use hay pellets to feed their horses. So the hay can also be fed to cows, the pellets. So we are a pelletized society, and it is coming to the U.S. also. So this is not too far off. I'm sure you all have seen bags of pellets somewhere in Tractor Supply and or even Walmart, and this is how they're made. So there you go. All right, now on to the tutorial. We are not going to bother running the round baler. If you guys, this is like basic game stuff. I'm not going to run the regular square baler either. Come on, you guys know how to run a baler. What we are going to do is we're going to run this baler with the accumulator, and then we're also going to take out the Primos and put that into action so you guys can see that and understand how it works. All right, first things first, I'm going to back this big baler up to our device if I can get it to line up properly. There we go. And it trailers it out to the field. It goes into trailer mode when you're moving it. Once we start to use it, it's going to actually go into a different mode. So I'll show you that. But let me get out to the field. I'll be back. All right, so I'm going to first attach this. So we're going to go into the F1 menu. And I'm going to go to, let's see, we're going to bail unload mode. XXX. That's kind of cool. Lower twine boxes. Okay, that's what I wanted to show you. This is how you... When you want to do the manual loading, that's what this does, and it puts twine in there, but we're not doing that. So we're going to pick our... There we go. Unfold the baler. So we're going to press A and see that it sucks that in and unfolds the back. And so now it's one piece, but it's kind of weird because it says unfold baler. Now it's showing you the bale unload mode. You can have it drop one bale at a time, two on the outside. I don't know why you do it like that, or 3 altogether. And 3 is what we want. And let's go. Oh, this one, I didn't make it. I didn't pay for the extra stuff, so I'm going to have to load it. So I'll be right back. You'll get to see that happen. So while we're waiting, I'm going to unfold this. No, I want to do bale. We're going to lower the twine boxes. There we go. I'm going to bring some twine out. Like I said, I should have bought the automatic version, and I didn't. I'll be right back. All right, so I've come out here with our handy-dandy forklift. I'm going to put these here, and then I'm just going to come over here into the tractor, and we're going to press I believe it's, the left joystick is what refills the baler. And it's refilling. You can see it's probably going to take all of those, I would imagine, because see, it fills them, all those rows up there. So we'll let it do that. And you can see how much twine that's going to take. That pallet only filled this up 70% down in the bottom right-hand corner. Shows you how much twine is left. Once again, that's kind of cool, actually. I mean, it makes it a little bit more realistic. This is what they have to do in real life. So, whoops, wrong button. Dang it. All right, so let's go ahead and get this thing started. Then I'm going to put the baler down, and let's run out the field, and you're going to see what we do. We may have to run a couple rows here. I'm hoping that I want to make sure we leave some for the other baler, for the Primos. Good Lord, these are big bales. I may have to cut more bales, or cut more hay down. If you didn't know, in this game, you can actually, if you don't want the crop, but you just want straw, you can always use a mower to cut the crop. So that's what I did here. I didn't use a harvester. I just cut the crop down. Terrible, terrible, terrible. But okay, so we're getting multiple bales now. That's good. We should be fine. I just need 3. Actually, I need 6. Dang it. But we'll get there. And so here comes the third one. And there they go. Okay, so next up, we're going to do some same thing but with hay. And that sucks. Look at this. It screwed it up. It didn't place them neatly. I was going too fast, maybe? I don't know. It should place them all together, but that group broke up, and so it'll still be pickable, upable. You just have to probably ram it a little bit so that they all line up. But You don't want that. You want it to line up nice and neatly. So now we're going to switch over to grass. I think it's going to make one more hay or one more straw bale. We're going to switch over to hay and make some hay bales. I'll be back while we're doing this. I'll be right back. For whatever reason, that group came off nicely. So I think that's all we need. I need to do one more triplet. So I'm going to do a little more straw, and then I'll just have to mow some more. It's all right. I got all the time in the world. Not really, but I got about an hour. All right, I'll be back. I'm going to fill this back up again. All right, when I emptied it out, it gave me some extra. So there you go. So we have 2 extra bales there. That's fine. But we have enough that we can use both of our pickup implements, and that's what I wanted to show you. I need to cut a little more grass, but that's how this device works. And so then we have these nice little groups of 3, and we should easily be able to pick these up with our telehandler and or front loader and the big attachments that they gave us in the pack, which we're going to do because I need to bring these back to the factory and we're going to process these. So let's do that in a minute here. But first of all, let's go to the Primos and pull some of this material up with the Primos and make pellets directly. I'll be right back. I have to make my first apology. I'm getting ahead of myself. Before we take the Primos out, let's go ahead and collect the bales off the field. We're going to take both our telehandler and the wheel loader, and we'll do just one group of each using the device, because I want you to see each device working. So I will be right back. I'm going to take this out to the field, and I'll be back. All right, we are out here in the field, and I'm going to put my handy-dandy menu open so you can see what I'm doing. And you can see here, this takes up 3 bales. And so we're going to push these forward so that they're all together. There we go. Now we got all 3 bales together. And I'm going to left bumper X grabs the bales, and I can pick them up nice and neat. Look at how nice that is. So you can pretty easily get stuff off the field this way. If you like to manually load, I know a lot of people are already using auto loaders, and they don't like to manually load stuff. I actually tend to like to load bales off the field because I'm weird. I am weird. You guys have been around long enough. If you've been watching my channel, you know how weird I am. And so you got to press Y to drop the bales. There you go. And that's it. They're on the trailer. They're a little bit not neat, but they're okay. Good enough for government work, as they say. And we're going to go ahead and put these straps on so they don't get bumped around, because I'm going to put more on. You moron. And then I'm going to grab the wheel loader, and we're going to do the other grabber. So this is the little grabber that comes for the telehandler. There's also the large one. We're going to try that out next. So here we have our wheel loader, and I'm going to unfold this and lift it up. And I'm going to try to get lined up with the bales as best I can, grabbing these with half of it, with half of my bale grabber. I'm trying to line up. It's not easy to do to get it right, but we can do it. Yeah. All right, come on. Okay, and we're going to grab the bales. So once again, left, and then left bumper, and then X, and that picks up those 3. Now we might need a bigger front loader. This thing's already getting a little tipsy, and we got that twist on it too. So I'm gonna go grab these other bales up the field. I'll be right back. And so theoretically, we should be able to pick up this next group. I don't know. It's really going to be... I need to re-grab these guys. I didn't get them far enough over. So we're going to drop the bales. And I'm going to scooch over just a little bit and get a little more comfy. And we're just going to put this right over that. Like there. Now we should have room. Put that down and bump it. And then we're going to grab the bales. And then we're going to lift this again and come over here and try to get these as cozy as possible. Shoot. So this really looks like it only can grab 5, even though we got groups of 6. That's a little bit of a bummer. But I'd say handily, yeah, it seems like maybe, I don't know. I don't really think we can get... Let's try it. Try again. Really put this like right on the edge. Nope. That's what I was afraid of. So sadly, this doesn't pick up 6, and that's what I was hoping for, because then you do nice groups. However, you can always pick up 1 extra, but it's just it's not quite what I was hoping for, because if you pick up 5, well, then you got 1 left on the field, and that's no one left behind is not happening here. It is neat that it's independent, though, on how it grabs, but there you go. There's really not... maybe it depends on bale size. So I think that's the smallest bales that we can make, though. I don't think we can make them any smaller than that. But let's take a look at the bale size that we're using. So that's kind of a bummer, because like I said, I was hoping to be able to pick up 6. Oh, and you can see here, even with 5 on this little front loader, it's kind of a lot of weight. So you might want to get a bigger front loader, which is going to cost a lot more money. It seems like, to me, the telehandler option's the better option, to be honest. This has taken 3 times as long as if I would have done it just doing the 3 at a time. And I still have to go back and get the extra bale. So it's unwieldy, it's heavy. We're bumping our bales off the trailer because it's hard. You know, obviously these are harder to steer than the telehandlers, because the telehandlers have all-wheel steering and these have articulated steering, which is a nightmare. So I'm not complaining, but what I'm saying is this is probably not the best way to do it, but it was fun to test it out. There we go. So now we got some bales on there. Cool beans. That's how that works. Not impressed. I do like the telehandler one better. I'm going to grab the rest of these bales using the telehandler. I got 1 up there and 2 back here. I'm going to put them together and put those on the trailer. I will be right back. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to grab these, pick them up. I put them all I put them all together so we have all 3 of them in one group. And we're going to take this back and put it on our trailer, and then we're going to use these in the factory to show you how that side bale loader works. If you're like, huh, what's he talking about? Well, you'll see when we get there. I always end up getting ahead of myself. I apologize. I do that frequently. In my brain, I know it's happening, but I also have to connect that to what you guys know is happening and not happening. All right, so this is going to park here. And we're going to lock these bales on. And now we have bales for our demonstration. So I will be back. I'm going to go grab a Primos. We're going to bring that out to the field and use that out here so you can see how it works directly. You need a real big tractor. Let's go do it. So here I've got my really big tractor. We have a 400 plus horsepower Case Magnum. And you really do need this. Now, the other thing you got to be ready for is this is a slow process. These things do not operate quickly. When they pick up stuff off the field, it is really slow running. Let's see. Does this thing need loading? Unfold lower. Turn on pellet. Okay, this one does not need the molasses loaded, so we're ready to go. All right, so I'm going to go out there to the field. I picked the right one this time. I didn't get the one that has to be refilled up manually. I'll be back. So this is what I think is the easiest way to make pellets. You grab the Primos, you turn it on. We need to unfold it. So unfold pellet harvester. I thought it was. Okay, folding. There it goes. Fold. That's all. It puts the ladder down. Really? Okay. Well, we can run it when it just puts the ladder down. The other thing you can do is you can put the pipe out. This is how you offload it, which we will do once we're full, if we get that full. And you can see here we get a whopping 6 miles an hour as we load pellets, and you can see the pellets are coming up. That's kind of cool. There they are. That's what they look like. I've seen them in real life. We use them my wife occasionally uses them at her barn. But we found that they don't do as good as actual straw, so we stopped using them. And they're expensive compared to the price of just buying straw bales. They end up, or not straw bales, but we use wood shavings. So the pellets end up being more expensive, and they're just not, it's not worth it. But there you go. So you can see us grabbing the pellets. They come up off the ground. They get fed into, the straw gets fed into there and gets chopped up by those big drums. And then it's fed up through the machine and dumped onto the conveyor belt where we have the pellets. And this it's filling up pretty quick. I think we'll be able to get a full load of straw pellets. And then I'll show you how to palletize those. So there's a couple different processes, but we'll get into that. And we're at 98% full, 99, 100%. So now be careful, because this will keep eating the straw and not making pellets. So you gotta stop. You gotta pay attention to how full it is. Otherwise, you'll end up overdoing it. You'll just waste crop. So we have a full bin right now, and we're gonna go grab a tipper and dump this off. I'll be right back. When buying a trailer tipper for this, I would suggest getting one that backs straight in. This one's a little large. Man, there's not a whole lot of options in game. Probably the best one's going to be, I wish they had a pushback version of this welder, but I would say probably the Rudolph is going to be your best bet. It holds, we could do 2 loads into this. I mean, you could get away with the Claas. The problem, let's see, I don't remember. No, okay, this would actually be good. Okay, I apologize. I forgot the Claas is also available with the short version, and that's what you want. Don't get the tall version because you won't be able to load it. But if you get the Claas with the short version, that'll work well with what we're doing. It's got enough capacity to fill up all the way, but it also gives us a little bit of room. I think it's 10,000 liters, which is we have 9,000 liters. So we'll put all of our straw pellets into this, and then I'll show you why you wanted one of these. The trolley carts where they have the wheel up front are really hard to back up. If you're trying to get this trailer into the facility where you dump off the pellets, you're going to have somewhat of a difficult time backing into the bays because it's pretty crowded. So backing up a dolly trailer is a pain, but this one you can just back right in. You shouldn't have any trouble if you're good. All right, so here we go, picking up our straw pellets. And pretty quickly we'll unload it. Already at 1,000. There's 9,000 altogether. I think this will hold 9,000. Pretty sure. Yeah, it'll hold 9,000. All right. So now we're gonna take this full. What's still going? We're gonna take this over and dump it into our facility. So I will be right back. So you can see here, even here, it's pretty tight. I should have known better. I'm gonna put it. Yep. My brain is doing what my mouth was trying to say. So just hold tight. It'll catch up eventually. So we're going to back this in. Oh. Perfect. That's what I meant to do. See? I aimed perfectly. Boing. Oh boy. Cartus interruptus. All right, so we're going to dump our stuff right there. Just dump it. And so that's where those pellets are going to go. And then they got a nice bay over here for hay, or you can fill them both with straw. However you want to do it. Personally, and then, well, you'll see. You'll see the process. Okay, I'm just going to warn you now that this thing, the pallet, is absolute trash. It's buggy as all get out. I cannot. This thing's a nightmare. I'm trying to move this. This is our part of the production. This allows us to chop the bales up using the Primos, and this thing is a freaking nightmare. I'm going to try to grab it from this end, but I tried to use the forklift and it wouldn't do it, so now I'm trying to use this the telehandler, and it is, as you can see, it is just all over the place. It's like it's not even, nope, that's too short. Go underneath, and it's got, you can't lift it. No matter which end you grab it from, that's what it does. It just flips up in the air. So it's like you can't get underneath it. I had it for a little bit, but it was all... Anyway, the point is, You might be better off just getting like a trailer and quickly loading this onto a trailer and then transporting it and then unloading it at the location. But yeah, see, that doesn't work. What the? God dang it. Okay, once I got it flipped, I was able to hook it upside down. I'm not sure exactly how this thing connects to the side, so we're going to find out the hard way. But anyway, we're here. I just wanted to bring, all I wanted to do was bring it over here so we could use it with on the pallet machine. There we go. All right, so I'm going to dump this here and we'll figure it out. I'll have to leave the forks out here too. Oh my God. Annoying. Okay. There we go. I'll be back. Okay, so to begin production this way, we've dumped our pellets in here. You come over to the crane, or you can use a telehandler or any device with a shovel. You can use a front loader with a shovel, whatever you want to do. I personally think that this, while it's really neat, is also I need the controls on the screen. If you get good at this, you probably will have an excellent time. I personally, look at this. It's not even closing all the way. Oh, there we go. Okay. No, I don't want to rotate it. I want it to go up. Nope. Up. This is the stuff that I don't do well. I am not compatible with this stuff. Go up. Oh my God. Okay, there we go. Okay, not so bad. I just had to get used to the controls. I'm sorry for losing my temper. But to me, this is kind of a pain. No. Now you got to press this. Okay. You could reprogram these controls to like a side joystick. I have the side panel. And we're not gonna see I should probably show you that, but we'll come back. Camera needs to go up, and we're gonna close this now. Yep. And then I'm gonna raise. Nope, I'm gonna spin. I'm gonna raise this up. And we're going to take this back over. Okay, so this isn't too bad, honestly. That's not bad. And then hold these both, and we're going to open it, and there we go. And so that's not bad. But honestly, this is way easier. But we can see here that what's going on. They're coming out here. The bags are filling with pellets. The pellets are coming out here, and they're being pushed onto this conveyor belt where I think they're doing like 3 at a time or something. Do they actually move out there? Oh yeah, there you go. A group of 5. There we go. There's 5 of them, and soup. Oh, that's so neat. Got an emergency stop. I don't know if it's going to do that, but let's go ahead and finish this up. We'll do dump the rest of these in there. But to me, this is easier just to use a telehandler. Or, honestly, you could get one of those small, like, Schaffer front loaders. That probably would be even easier. Because this is pretty big in here. You want to use something smaller. This thing's kind of but, whoops, this fits nicely. Okay. And it's going to take a while to process that, so you only have to do this once in a while. You get a big scoop, and I think it takes a while for it to process. Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, no, it processed all of that. Look at that. I don't know what the capacity on this hopper is, but apparently it goes through 2,000 pretty quickly, so... Crap, I don't know why I keep rolling up on that. Okay, there we go. Pellet nuggets. Okay. And it'll stop for a little bit as it's going to have to finish making that pallet, and then it's going to push that pallet off, and then it'll start making the next one. So 1952, and that should be almost all of them. There we go. There's a little teeny bit left over there in the corner. We'll get that. The Lindner tractor would work well for this, but once again, even the little Schaffers. I prefer all-wheel steering to articulated, so the Schaffers to me are not appealing, but There we go. And we don't even have a pallet yet. Now, why would you sell these in pallet format? Well, if you sell them directly, you get half price. So the pallets are actually, the wrap pallets actually make the pellets, the pallets make the pellets worth double. Sorry, it's a mouthful. Here comes our first pallet out the gate. And that, you just use a forklift. Oh, and it's all wrapped and ready to sell. You load it onto that trailer probably with a forklift and take it to the sell point and sell it. And once again, you'll get double what just the raw pellets are worth. So it is worth palletizing them to sell them. So we'll let the process go ahead. There's not that much more to do, but I'm going to pull this out because the next step is I'm going to show you how to do the same idea, but next we're going to use the Primos. We're going to pretend like we made bales in the field like we did. See these bales here? We're going to turn these into pellets next. So this is another process. If you decide you don't want to take the Primos out into the field, you just want to use it in the factory, I'm going to show you how to do that next. So I will be right back. All right, first things first, dealing with this pallet, I think you're just somehow, I know this attaches. Oh, okay. See there, it said A. So we're going to attach it out here. There we go. Okay, that's not so bad. So we really don't, you can transport this thing attached to the Primos. You don't have to use the forklift. I apologize for the wrong information. It's been a long time since I've used this, but it's just on a pallet to deliver it to you, but you can just put it right on the Primos and travel with it. And that is way easier than the way that I did it, trying to do it with forks, because that sucked. Okay, so now we need to get the Primos in place. And you're going to, not this. We're going to take this and put the pipe out. There we go. I want this out. And it needs to be over our bin. There we go. I'm going to try to get it in there nice and straight because this is going to, it matters. So, because we need to, or at least with the tractor canted the other way. Okay, there we go. Let me just make sure that, yep, it's over it. Okay. And we're going to go ahead, and now I'm going to press the unfold button and unfold the processor. There we go. And then we just need to load bales onto that. Real simple, right? Now, you can do that on the field, or you can do it in here, whichever way you want to do it. This tractor, unfortunately, has to be running. I believe the Primos, I don't know. Let's turn it off and see what happens, but I'm pretty positive if I set it on here, nothing's going to happen unless I have that machine turned on. So I will be right back. All right, you can see here we've made several pallets, so I need to move some of these off. Before we continue, this is going to get all backed up. So I need to move these pallets off of our assembly line. Right now, I don't have a trailer to sell them with, but I'm just going to stack them. You can put them anywhere. We're just going to set them over here, in fact, for now. And so this is fun. And you can see where, like, the multiplayer would come in. You could actually have some, one guy loading bales, one guy unloading the machine. I mean, there's a plethora of fun options that we have going on to do a production facility. So unlike the other productions that are in the game, this one actually is interactive, and I like that. I wish we had more like this, where you, like in the soup factory, for example, you actually go inside the factory, you put the veggies in the machine, you watch the cans come out, and then you take a forklift and move them off of the palletizer, like that kind of stuff. Like, this is pretty interactive, and I appreciate that. I wish the other productions were a little more interactive like this, but they just aren't. For most of them, you dump stuff in a hole and then pick up the product in the morning. So this one, at least we have a little bit of interactivity going on. All right, so we've got these moved out of the way. Once again, thousands of dollars right here. This is going to be nice because it's taking straw, essentially something that's worth like $150, $200 a liter. I'm sorry, per 1,000 liters. And we're stuck. We're turning it into something that's stuck on the forks. Oh, God. Now, I will say this. These pallets, and I've had this problem before with these Euro pallets, this DLC, even back in the day, was notorious for pallet issues, so I think we're farked. I'm going to have to put this against the wall and suck it off. And this, sadly, used to happen. Come on. There we go. All right. So they are sticky pallets. You got to watch. They're not great. And I think, sadly, the modern pallets that are in the game work better. I wish they would have redone this. That makes me upset to see that we're still dealing with that same garbage sticking to the pallet issue that we had in the older version, but apparently they didn't recode that, so that's kind of bogus. Okay, so we have these pallets moved. But anyway, like I said, I like the fact that we are more involved in the process. Now, let's go ahead out here. I've picked a little front loader to load our bales. I'm going to get these undone a little bit, so we can grab a couple. And they have to be set on pretty carefully, if I remember right. But it's been a while. So I'm going to get them. Unfortunately, we have to come from the side with this. And then we'll come back and... it's not what I wanted to do. Lift and tuck. Flick and switch. See how easy this is. Working around buildings with small equipment in Farm Sim is always fun. If you have a joystick, this might be where that new Farm Sim stick that nobody can get their hands on. That might be where you would start with this, because that would be a good device for this specific task. You could use a skid steer to load that hopper too. Palletizer are empty. Okay, it's stopped. All right. Like I said, I think I'm going to put this up here, and I don't think anything's going to happen. It might take the bale, but I don't think it's going to... Yeah, just set it up there, and nothing happens. So we have to turn this on. And then we have to turn the palletizer system on. There we go. Let's watch it. It's like Austin Powers. Slowly and surely, inch by inch. Oh, it's getting stuck. So it's not... If it ain't on there perfectly, it ain't on there. Dang it, it's stuck. So you got to make sure it's loaded to the front. They have little stoppers there, so you can see there. So we got to pull it back against the front of the machine here. See those little metal green stoppers? You want to grab it here. Set it. No, they don't work. Oh, crud buckets. All right, try that. Okay, so back up. Try it. Nope. Back up further. And this is what I remember about the original one. It really is finicky. You got to really drop the bales exactly. Which is why I would stick with a telehandler or with one of these that are just more precise. If you're using an articulated front loader, it's going to be very difficult to get that on there perfectly. But we did. Now it's loading in. I'm not sure what it's doing there, but it's doing something. Maybe those remove the twine. I bet you those are twine removers, and that the twine probably spins around and then gets on to this thing, and then you get a big ball of twine and you pull it off. I bet you that's what happens. Oh, jeez. And it's going to grind it up. And there it goes. And see, it's sucking it in. And the pellets are coming out into the hopper, I think. Or they're just dumping on the ground. But no, our machinery started working. I can't see because I'm stuck on something. I'm trying to get back there so we can look. Okay, there we go. And we are making more pallets. More pallets of pellets. That's pretty easy. Once again, making hay is worth more than straw, but the straw you get for free when you do your crops if you're not going to use it for the animals. It's also an easier way to store bales because you get a lot of material in just a little bit. But for demonstration purposes, we're just doing straw tonight. And so that is the second process or second way of doing this. Once again, it's a little bit of a pain because you really have to get the bale on perfectly. If it's not perfectly straight, it won't feed into the machine. It goes slow, so the nice thing is by the time you get the next bale ready to load, that first one will just probably be going through. We took a little break here because we wanted to watch it. But, yeah. And you're just going to be making pallets like crazy, and then you have somebody else working a forklift and taking the pallets back off. And neat stuff. So I think you guys can figure out how to sell it. Basically, you're just going to load these onto the trailer, these pallets, and then sell them at the sell point. Let's see how much one is worth. I'm going to sell one of these straw pallets using the forklift. And then we'll end the video there. Hopefully you guys found this instructive, helpful, kind of seeing the process and how it works. Seeing the frustrations. I mean, this is real. You guys got to see me having some trouble with the DLC. And these are problems that we've had before with it. This is nothing new. But it is a cool, addition. You just have to be careful what you're doing and move slowly and kind of take your time and do it right. But I think this makes a real nice addition, and it's free. That's the great part. That you're not. This was $20 when it first came out for Farm Sim 17. So there we go, $2,000 per pallet. And that we are in August. That will go up to about maybe like $2,700 or $2,800 per pallet in the winter. So it's good money, and that's for straw, essentially a free product. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great night. Be sure to subscribe. Thumbs up always help, and I hope that you guys, like I said, found this information useful, and have fun with this product. It's pretty cool. See you guys next time. Bye.